steal your money, then they break your heart. Lonesome Sue, she's in love with old Sam. Take him from the fire into the frying pan. On and on, she just keeps on trying. And she smiles when she feels like crying. On and on, on and on, on and on. Poor old Jimmy sits alone in the moonlight. Saw his woman kiss another man. So he takes a ladder, steals the stars from the sky, puts on Sinatra, then starts to cry. On and on, he just keeps on crying. And he smiles when he feels like crying. On and on, on and on, on and on. When the first time's the last time, it can make you feel so bad. You knowing it, showing it, hold on tight, don't let her say goodnight.
Good morning. Ooh, I have a little camera difficulty here.
I got the sun on my shoulders and my toes in the sand. My woman's left me for some other man. I don't care, I'll just dream and I will stay tan. Toss up my heart, see where it lands. On and on, I just keep on trying.
Good morning.
And a smile.
Hey, Mark Ruffin.
Like
Yay!
dying. On and on, on and on, on and on. On and on, on and on, on and on. On and on, on and on, on and on.
Alex Degrassi and Jenna Mammina. We were at, where were we? We were at the ranch out in Marin County. George Lucas's, the big ranch. Hello there, hello there, hello there. Hi, Cheryl. Ooh, it's Sunday morning. Sunday, I'm looking outside as it's going to give me the date, but I know it's the 14th. Sunday, June 14th, 2020. Big day today. Mark Ruffin is going to be here, and I'm super excited about that. And then Lillian and I are going to go walk on the beach, and then we have a gig. Tom Costanzo and I are performing today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook Live, and also on South State Street and Main Street in St. Joseph. So if you're in town, come by. Come by, come by, come by. People we're social distancing, wearing masks, sitting outside, right on the corner, right across from Froggy Park, if you know where Froggy Park is. Hey, Cheryl. I said hi already. There's another Cheryl here. Just so you know, 2 Cheryls. I know some of you float on and float off and scroll on and stick around because, oops, let me see. Turn off all alarms. The other day, I said turn off all alarms, and she interpreted it as turn on all alarms. I didn't realize that at first, and then within minutes, and then something, and I'm like, what is going on? And then I realized, I looked over and they were all on. Green, 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 green. So the reason I was playing that Alex Degrassi, hello Gina Melita, my girl. I am not going to see that movie. I don't even want to talk about that movie. And why would they make it? Why would they make it? I don't understand. Alex Degrassi, incredible guitarist from, he's from the Bay Area. I think he grew up in Palo Alto. And is a Wyndham Hill, one of the original artists, second artist, I believe, to be signed to Windham Hill, and lives up in Mendocino County. And when I was living up that way, we used to get together and play. And he's going to be here on Tuesday night. Well, he will be here on Tuesday night. And there. And with us. So, tomorrow night's, let's see, tonight is Matt and Susan Gorbett. They're from Canada. They're art, science, brain people. Really, really, really cool people. And then tomorrow night is my meditation. I do a song meditation on Mondays. And then Tuesday, Alex Degrassi. And Wednesday night, Coakley Co. We'll be talking about grounding and be using some ways that you can boost your immune system and just be more comfortable and grounded with what's happening now. And then Thursday is Corona Roki. So think of a song. You don't have to sing it. You can dance it. You could play drums. You could play piano. It's really fun. And then it starts all over again. Then it's the weekend. Woo, woo, woo. So this, oh, and there is a dog. And this is going to let me do this? Yes, it does. Oh, I'm sure. I don't need it. You know? And Gina, when can you come back? We got to book you. We got to get you back on the show. Hello, Ricky. Ricky. I'll never lose that number. But good morning, Mama Grace. Hi.
Hi. Wait, hold on.
Beautiful. Where are you?
On my deck.
Did I not know there was a deck?
Have you been here?
Yeah.
To our new place.
How new is it?
Last summer, 123rd Street.
Yeah, because remember my friends live on 121st in Morningside? And I kept walking around and I was like
That's right.
feet away from you, but I was missing you by like
right. And you came and looked at the closets and said you could organize. Yeah, so if you kept walking up those stairs, there's a deck.
How cool.
Yeah, it's been my salvation in the lockdown. Actually.
It's your own little deck.
Yes, but what's horrible, there were a row of trees here. All here was a row of trees. And just last week, a developer cut down all 5 trees for one shade and everything. So, and they're building a 17-story apartment right behind us. Progress. New York City, the only place in the world that grows up.
Wow, but so you had that was your salvation, like you said, your own park.
That's right. I come out here and work and whatever else I want to do.
That's really, is there is it, are you guys on the top floor?
No, we're on the bottom floor. So we have the bottom 2 floors.
Okay.
And then the deck is kind of in the basement. You walk up to it.
On the behind.
Yes.
In the back. These guys live, I'll bring you on camera. Mark and his wife live in the coolest apartment in Manhattan. It is, what's the square footage on that place?
You have to talk to her. 52 maybe? 5,200? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like 5,000 square feet in Manhattan. In Harlem. Like, you're like, how does this even, and it's a home. It's not a corporate office. It's a home.
But you know, it's what's funny is I had to talk my wife into moving to Harlem because what we were paying in Midtown was obscene.
That was a really cool place.
Yes, but it still was obscene.
I have no idea what you were paying, but it was very cool.
Yeah. Okay.
This is Mr. Mark Ruffin, everyone. I don't even know how to title author, jazz programmer, DJ, record producer, artist.
Friend of Jenna Mamina's.
Friend of Jenna Mamina's. FOJM.
I got to tell you, I love how when you move, the Billie Holiday thing moves with you.
Oh. No, it's Frida Kahlo.
Who is it?
Oh, wait, which one? What are you talking about? Where?
The pillow? What?
It's Frida Kahlo.
Who's that?
Does look like she was an artist, a Mexican artist.
Okay.
It does totally look like Billie Holiday. In fact, that would be a cool pillow to have Frida on one side and Billie on the other side.
Okay.
Yep. So getting back to, besides being a friend of Jenna Mammina, where do I begin on who this man is?
Wow. Broadcaster, journalist, and I guess by September 1st, author.
And my friend Kevin Kuhn is on right now, and he has 3 books.
Wow, go Kevin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. You'll have to post. Oops. Kevin, if you could post your book in this feed, and then Mark also, I'd love for you guys to connect.
People who had finished books were great inspiration for me. I was so jealous. Couldn't get mine done, but I did. And I got to tell you something, Jenna, a friend of mine, I may have told you this story. The way I got to finish it, the spurt that got me to the finish line came from our friend Renee Marie.
Oh.
And the spurt is the way I work, and all this came from my screenplay writing. And for decades, I go to sleep with stories. That's how I go to sleep. And this one story I had kept bugging me for months. And it kept bugging me so much, I went to sleep with it every night. I started writing the book. And Valerie got so mad at me. She was like, you cannot start another book. You have to finish what you got. I was like, but this one, it came. Jenna, talk about inspiration. It came fully formed. It was amazing. And I was like, no, I gotta get this out while I can. And then one day, I saw Renee, and I was telling Renee about this second story, and she says, Mark, that's the story you have to pay attention to. And you will never get it fully out until you get all the ideas of the first one out. And I realized that she was kind of right, and I ended up writing the outline to the story that came fully formed. It was over 40 pages, the outline.
The outline?
Yes. So I'm so excited to get to it that it made me hurry and finish this one. So I thank Renee Marie in the book. She helped me to the finish line.
I've been texting with her lately, and she'll be on the show sooner than later, but
please remind me when that happens.
For sure. Well, I would love for her to be on the Coronaroki on Thursday night with my producer Dave Love, So
Dave, by the way, says he's going to be on a little later.
He's in church.
Morning, yes. Dave is something.
I love Dave Love, man.
Who cannot love Dave Love? You know, it was I who hooked him and Renee up.
No.
Renee and I, of course, got nominated for a Grammy. We were so excited. And we were at the Grammy Awards, and Dave was sitting next to us. And I said, Dave, do you guys know each other?
Oh, my goodness.
And they didn't, and that's how he got to manage Renee.
Wow. Well, two of my favorite people.
Have you had him on your show yet?
Dave? No.
Yeah.
Dave is behind the scenes.
Oh, no, you got to get Dave. You got to get him.
He won't come on.
He said, he's been so good to me as far as this book goes. He feels like, for everything I've done for him, and I don't think I've done anything extraordinary for him, that he's going to buy like 200 copies just to, and that is so Dave Love.
I believe it.
So Dave Love, yes.
Yeah, I could tell you so Dave Love.
Yes, so many stories.
So
Renee too. I would love to be on both of those.
Well, for sure. Well, hopefully, it will be soon, because I just love spending time with her, and to get Dave on here, he always says all these reasons why he doesn't come on. But we talk sometimes after the shows, because we do the Coronaroki. It was his one night. He's like, "What if we did like a karaoke on your show, and then we just started talking, and then one day he just sends me this idea and goes, here's how it's going to be. Blah, 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 blah. And I went,
That's so Dave Love.
okay, we're going with it. Yeah, and I want to take Jenna, the 11/11 with Jenna on the road, like, and do it at venues.
Oh, okay.
Have you on stage, have a band on stage, and me interviewing and doing some songs.
Okay. I was really encouraged to see that you actually had a gig.
My friend Tom Costanzo, who's a guitar player that lives in my hometown part-time in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I have just started playing together, and we play in his yard. He and his wife Wendy have a beautiful home, and we camp out in the yard, and people pull up their chairs and play in the yard. But I do have a gig on July 17th. I have 7 gigs that haven't canceled yet. 8 gigs that haven't canceled yet for my year.
Wow.
I don't know.
It's a strange new world, Jenna.
I don't know.
So some clubs, if you haven't heard, I know that the Keystone Corner in Baltimore, SF Jazz in San Francisco, the Village Vanguard here, and Dizzy's Club now. They're starting to institute where they're going to do big camera shoots,
Right.
And so that seems to be, to quote the Jazz Foundation, the new gig,
Yeah. That's why I make my own gigs, Mark.
Well, you've always done that.
I can't wait for them anymore.
Yes.
I can't beg anymore. I just do it. I make my records, I make my gigs, and what people listen and come. It's a good thing.
Well, we should tell you folks that I hope that your next record be something that I work on.
I hope so too.
We've been talking about it. In fact, we'll just tell people we have the video ready, we have the concept ready, everything's ready, and it's my fault because we were waiting to finish my book. And by the time the book finished, the coronavirus hit. We were ready to go, man.
We will do it. I plan on it. I mean,
I've thought of ways we could still do it. I've talked to our mutual friend John Beasley, who I understand you guys haven't seen each other in forever.
We hung on Maui for about 2 weeks once.
Yes, he told me.
Not just him and I, but like a whole crew of people. It was a record that was being made.
Right.
20 years ago.
You remind me of my friend Eric Mercury. I have a friend named Eric Mercury. They call him the Electric Black Man. And he's a pioneer in black rock. He was in Jesus Christ Superstar original back in the 60s. He used to open for Zappa. Bill Graham loved him. Okay, but if you look at some of those old Fillmore East and West posters with Jimi Hendrix and all those people, you'll see at the bottom Eric Mercury. And Eric has a million stories. He's like a Bubba Gump. I have so many stories about Eric. Look him up and I'll tell you.
Does he wear a cowboy hat?
No.
Okay.
No, but
wrong. Electric Black Man.
Yes. One time he told me he was playing at the famous club in the Village. I can't think of the name of it. Very famous club. I should be ashamed of myself. But he played it every night, and Frank Zappa would come in, and he was famous. No. This old man would come in with a big mustache. He was really weird. And every day Zappa, the bitter end. And every day that week, Zappa was playing next door, and they would go upstairs and smoke joints on the roof. And he would tell them about this old guy. And then on that Thursday, another old guy came in with the old guy. He said they were just sitting there wrapped. And Zappa said, I got to go see these people. And he went down, and it was Pablo Picasso and the mustache guy, the surrealist. Salvador Dali.
What?
Okay, yes. Another favorite Eric Mercury story of mine. I was interviewing Jack DeJohnette for the Chicago Sun-Times, and Eric and I had something to do, and we were together. And I walked up to Jack and said, Jack, I'm Mark Ruffin. This is my friend Eric Mercury. He said, the electric black man, Eric Mercury? And Eric, right in character, said, it is indeed I. And Jack told us this story about how Miles Davis would lock them in a room with drugs, coke and marijuana, and just play Eric's records over and over and over again. Okay?
Where is Eric?
He's in Toronto. He's an amazing music. He's an amazing human. He was Donny Hathaway's last producer. When Donny killed himself, he was working on he produced the Roberta Flack Donny Hathaway record, the famous one, when Donny killed himself. Mm-hmm. He also, remember If I Could Be Like Mike, the Gatorade commercial? Mm-hmm. That's Eric singing that. You know, I mean,
I need to meet this man. In fact, tonight my guests are from Toronto who are going to be on.
Well, if they're old enough, they'll know Eric. And and the reason
I might have to go to Canada.
The reason he reminds me of you is I'm never shocked where the name comes up. I am never shocked. Well, actually, I'm still shocked sometimes with you.
Did John Beasley tell you why we were
Yes.
all on Maui?
Yes. It was like
Did he tell you whose studio we were at? We were hanging with who we were hanging with? Walter Becker and Roger Nichols.
Yes. He told me the whole story, and it's like, well, with Eric, I got to the habit where I would interview people, and at the end of my interview, I would ask, "Do you know Eric Mercury?" And I would get the wildest answers. And I'm thinking about doing that with you. I'm hanging out with this singer, this beautiful singer, Valerie, who loves her. And I started telling her about you. She said, that sounds like the woman who my dad and her dad grew up together. I was like, Jenna Mammina? She said, oh my God, Jenna. And it was Nikki Harris. Your father grew up with Gene Harris.
Gene Harris learned how to play piano in my grandparents' home.
I'm never surprised where your name comes up anymore.
I love Nikki. She was here about a month ago, and we went for a walk on the beach.
Wow.
I love Nikki Harris. That's somebody else that we need to make something happen. One of my coolest stories, though, can I say, I was doing a show in Carmel, since we're on the name thing. Hi, Melanie DeMore. I was singing with Andre, and I looked up and I was like, I think that, and Andre goes, dude, do you know who that is? And I said, no. And he goes, Clint Eastwood. And I go, oh, cool. Clint's at the show. And then like 10 minutes later, this gorgeous person walks in and sits right down in the front row. Cassandra Wilson. So I'm like, Cassandra and Clint, just came out to the show tonight. That was one of my favorites.
Oh, you mean individually they came in?
Mm-hmm. Well, Cassandra was staying in Pacifica, and I was down in Carmel, and she had played in San Francisco at SF Jazz the night before, and I was with her at the show, or a couple of nights before. I said, you need to come to my show in Carmel. She's like, where's Carmel? And I said, where are you staying? Well, she was staying at the Four Seasons in Pacifica. And I said, it's just like an hour and a half down the road. Well, it's down Highway 1.
One of the best drives in the world.
Girlfriend drove that at night.
Wow.
To come see me play.
Yeah. She's something, too.
I love my Cassandra Wilson.
Oh, she's something.
She was on the show one day. She showed up.
No kidding. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're going to have to start putting a weekly list out now. my favorite story with Cassandra, there are a couple of singers. There are a couple of singers, including you, who I've taken Valerie to see, and she instantly fell in love with them the minute they opened their mouths. Okay, that would be you. You remember that day. But Cassandra Wilson too. And then afterwards, I took her back to meet Cassandra, and Cassandra looked at Valerie and looked at me and said, "Damn, Mark, you hit the jackpot." Didn't even know Valerie. It was way before we got married, and I always remind her of that. She was right. I hit the jackpot.
Oops. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, I remember one time I brought somebody to a Cassandra show. Somebody that I was dating, and she looked at him and said, "Don't fuck with my girl." Sorry, Mom. Sorry, everybody.
She is
She always has my back.
Yes, she's something. I love her to death. She is something, man. We've hung out, because I go to the International Jazz Day things. We hung out in Havana. We had such a great time in Havana.
See, Mark knows everyone.
You know a lot of people too.
Okay. I know Anita more. So I'm curious. I'm changing the subject because last night I had my friend Gary Lambert on, and Gary's has a Grateful Dead show, a radio show on the Grateful Dead XM radio channel.
Ah, okay.
And he's producing stuff at home.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing your show?
Technology is amazing. They created a monster. I'm in my basement, controlling that satellite way up there in the sky. It's
Did you have all the equipment at home beforehand?
No. They sent us specialized equipment. It's not much because the internet is such a powerful engine.
Amen.
So it's just a few plugins and a few different programs and I can control the satellite from my.
What?
So like I said, they've created a monster because I feel like, well, now I can live anywhere in the world, except for those times when I have to be in New York.
Which is not a bad place to be.
No, it's not.
Fabulous.
Neither is Michigan. So
it's is that a dog?
Yes, it's my neighbor's dog. Yes.
So you program. So all the other DJs have the same equipment at their homes?
Everybody's at home. Everybody's at home.
And any word on when and how that part will be opening up?
No.
Because it's in Rockefeller Center, so it's part of all that.
Yeah, but I'm not in Rockefeller Center.
You're still so you were going to move though originally, when I saw you in January.
That's right. They changed that, so we are. So yeah.
It's Mark Ruffin.
And I love my situation. I pinch myself every day that I work at Jazz at Lincoln Center. Every day I pinch myself.
I love walking into your office when I'm at a show. I go to Dizzy's like, let's go to my office. Let's go hang out. There's Dave Love. Hi, Dave Love.
Hey, Dave Love.
Yeah, his office is Jazz at Lincoln Center. You go to Dizzy's for a concert, and then Mark's like, let's go over to my office, his studio where XM Jazz Radio is like there. Or we're at a conference in January, and then we go
chill in my office.
Chill in his office. Hello.
I love that when I work late, I can just go catch a couple of tunes and I've had so many great experiences. The private parties, off the top of my head, the two best private parties, Aretha Franklin in Dizzy's with a big band, so with multi-million-dollar donors and mostly white women. And when she sung Respect, I learned the power of women, man. Oh, my God. It was an amazing experience to see her in a small room with a big band. Okay?
In that room.
Oh, yeah. My other amazing experience, private party, one day I'm walking down the halls in the middle of the day, and I hear, Corinne Bailey Ray's song.
Oh.
And I hear the sax. I said, wait a minute, that's Wayne Shorter doing, and I walk into the backstage, and it's Esperanza Spalding, Wayne Shorter, Terry Lynn Carrington, Herbie Hancock, backing Corinne Bailey Ray, and it was a private party for David Lynch, the director for David Lynch. And that kind of thing, I pinch myself every day, Jazz Lincoln Center. 1 week, in a 2-week period of time, I met J-Lo, Beyonce, and Mariah Carey. Yes, all backstage Jazz Lincoln Center. It's been amazing. One day during the Time 100 is held at Jazz Lincoln Center. One day I'm turning the corner, and there's Tony Blair and Bill Clinton. I'm like, whoa! Hi guys, I really admire you, and I just kept walking because that's what we have to do. We have to be pros. We have to keep walking.
Right.
But yeah, it's just I have a million stories like that being at Jazz Lincoln Center. Or another good one. President Obama had a private fundraiser with the NBA there, and they turned the big educational room into a basketball court, and they had a private basketball game for President Obama at Jazz at Lincoln Center. So I'm blessed that way.
That's cool. So my Cassandra and Clint Eastwood story is kind of.
Oh no!
I'm just kidding.
No, it's
kidding.
proximity of where I work. I mean,
No, it's just a cool office. So you're there's no movement in that department at this point, which is great.
Well, right now there's nobody's moving.
Right.
You know, how do you see this playing out? Where are people going to work? How are you going to trust people in the elevator that goes up?
Dude, Michigan's opened up, and I'm in my house.
Okay, that brings me to something I wanted to ask.
I'll even put a mask on during 11/11 with Jenna. I have a new mask.
I want to ask your followers something, and you too. So Valerie and I want to go to Florida.
Drive.
Well, I didn't want to drive. You still got to stop. I didn't want to fly. I didn't know what to do. So she came up with, we're going to drive 4 hours to a town called Morton, Virginia, where Amtrak will allow you to put your car on the train, and they will take you and your car to Orlando.
What?
And then we're going to, and then we have, you know, my wife, so we have the high-end room, so we won't have to see many people. It's overnight. We get up in the morning and we drive 3 hours to Fort Lauderdale. Our only issue is P stops.
What are you going to sit in your car while you're on the train?
No. They have amazing rooms. We have a high-end room. It's double deck and bathrooms, and if we bring our own food, we won't
better
have
bring like 4 or 5 of these.
Yeah. Well, we can't find them in New York City.
They're all in my house.
So, anyway, so I was scared, Jenna, but and I wasn't going to do it until the protests started. Then I realized in 2 weeks, New York could be as bad as everywhere else again.
Why are you going? I forget. What did you say?
Because just to chill.
Oh, to get out of town. Okay.
Yes, and I keep reminding her we're not going there to do anything more than what we're doing now.
That's the case, like what Melanie just said. The cases are rising in Florida.
Yes.
Like major spike right now.
Yep, I know. But
I don't know. You have kind of a cool gig. How about I'll come house sit for you at your place.
Well, okay.
And be in like a little corner. Y'all would never even know I'm there. You walk in this place, you're like, you guys live here? What do you mean you live here? This is like a concert venue, which it will be one of these days.
Yes. I thought we could have shows here and raise money for our project.
Does Dave Love even know about our project?
I don't know. Do the people who follow you know about our project?
I don't think so. I don't speak of our project.
I don't either, Jenna. Because it's so. First of all, how long we've been working on it? How many years?
A couple of lifetimes in my book.
Yes. So, and we were so close to starting it. So close.
We'll do it. So do you have a place? We're all concerned about you going to Florida now. Where in Florida? In Fort Lauderdale. I have friends that have a really cool brewery there that they do takeout.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so I'll hook you up with them.
Oh, please. See, they started construction on Sunday. Hear that noise? That's construction of this 17-story tower beyond our house. On Sunday. Anyway, Valerie has she wants me to say we have an apartment in Fort Lauderdale, but really, anybody who knows me know I ain't got that. She has an amazing apartment.
Valerie.
Yes. On the beach. So the way I, despite the people in Florida, I told her we're gonna be triple marked. We're gonna be black in a car from New York with a mask on. Okay?
Hell yeah.
And
well.
But once we get into the apartment, it's us in the ocean. So, and Jenna, I'm gonna have to move because of. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can.
That's on Sunday.
It's New York City.
New York City.
And that's it because things that I've seen photos of in Manhattan, people are lining up to get coffee and lining up to go to bars and lining up to go to. I'm like, people.
Not me. I wasn't going to go to Florida until the demonstration started. Then I'm like, well, the odds are we've done so well when New York was bad. We can do well in Florida and be isolated. Sorry, I'm moving.
A friend of mine, Tanya's saying, be careful. My sister lives in Miami, and she said everyone yesterday on the beach in Fort Lauderdale was walking around mask-free.
Yes, see, but I don't have to worry about that. I live above the beach, and I can go on the beach in the morning and do my swimming. And plus, God, I miss swimming so much. I miss it so much. So that's what we're gonna do.
You'll be cool. It'll be all right.
Yep.
Plus, you have a doctor in the house.
Yes.
And glitter right
we
here.
continue to do the things we did in New York. We'll be fine.
Uh-oh. So wherever you moved, it got kind of poor connection.
Okay. So I'll go back over here.
Are you in the apartment now?
Yeah, I'm downstairs.
Dave Love, has Dave Love been to this place?
No.
Oh my goodness, Dave! Wait till you see his apartment. That's the craziest thing you've ever seen.
You want a tour?
It's crazy. Yeah. Where is Valerie?
Valerie's upstairs, probably studying. She has more degrees than a thermometer.
Have you seen that movie?
What?
Oh, you guys, what's the name of the movie? I don't know if I saw it on Netflix or on Amazon. This guy that has more degrees than a thermometer. He does. He's got a law degree, and he's got like 12 masters. He's got like 17 or 18 degrees.
And she's so modest. So how about
Look at that.
That's wonderful, isn't it?
That is wonderful. I think I've been there.
Yes, we got that Rio. So she doesn't want to be on camera, so I'm gonna go back downstairs.
Hi, Valerie.
Hi.
I love you.
and here's what people like about my 5,000 CDs. That's amazing.
Oh, what's that right there? Wait, scroll back. Be next to the CDs. Whoop.
Next to
Whoop.
Oh, right here.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
There. That is my 2 Emmys and different awards I've gotten. Grammy nomination with Renee, where Dave and Renee met at the Grammy nominations. But I love, all my CDs are in alphabetical order. When I want to hear something, I want to find it. I don't want to look for it. So I pack them and unpack them in alphabetical order all the time.
Now the CD. Okay, so when you're programming for your jazz, your own show, is it from your own? Okay.
I wish.
Not your collection.
No. I try to mimic my collection as often as I can.
But they say you can do this.
What do you mean?
Oh, I went like this. Hold on. I said that you can do this much, but.
Yeah. Let's change the subject.
Okay.
No.
So how about that? What's the flooring like in your place? It's tile, right?
It's wood upstairs. Oh, the wood is wonderful. And downstairs is this tile that it's so hard to clean, Jenna. Oh my God, it's so hard to clean. And in our household, I take care of the clothes, the garbage, and the floors. And
Shoes off, right when you walk in.
Oh, and the floors are, well, I do have my house sneakers I can wear.
I have house sneakers too.
Yes.
I have to have house sneakers. People put on slippers. I'm like, I need my house sneakers because then I can rock all over my place. If I have slippers on, I'm like, I have house sneakers that do not go out of my house.
Yes, I have those. I will wear them on the deck though, and gosh, I just want to go back out there. So there's an elephant in the room we haven't even discussed.
Which one? Which elephant?
I'm no longer on. I can't see who's commenting, so I'm without computer. The book.
Well, I was waiting for it.
You're waiting.
Okay. Oh, because I introduced you. I said I don't know how to introduce you. I introduced you as an author, as a Grammy-nominated producer, as a DJ, as a writer, as a radio guy, as just a super cool friend.
Screen? That's really cool.
We're not. You're on my phone, and I project it onto my iPad.
Oh.
You're on a really cool tripod. Thanks, Dave.
Yes, I've seen your tripod. I've kind of become hooked to your 11/11. It's a great idea.
We have that in common too, 11/11.
Yes. Okay, so we'll talk about the book, but first, I've told this story a million times. I was obsessed with 11/11. I kept it to myself for years. I thought it was weird how it would show up in my life everywhere. And the only person I ever shared it with ever was Valerie, who thought it was crazy and weird. And then one day, Jenna Mammina's at our house, and Valerie and I are talking, and it was 11/11. I said, Valerie, look, 11/11. And Jenna said, are you an 11/11 person? And I freaked out. I was like, I never met another 11/11 person. And then we had this deep talk about what it meant. You meant so much to me that day because I thought it was weird. I ran from it. And now that John Beasley is an 11/11 person. Yes. And now I understand it and I accept it and I embrace it now. And once you started the show, I'm just so hooked. Okay.
Thank you.
So yes,
11/11.
It's a great power.
I need to invite John Beasley on the show.
Ooh, what a busy man.
You know, last night I did something kind of fun. My friend Josh Jones and his wife Chloe and a friend Colin were playing. They did a streaming concert last night at a place called Mr. Tibble's in the Bay Area. And they were on Facebook Live. And so I projected their Facebook Live onto my Facebook Live.
Wow. It worked?
Yeah, just like I have you right now. I had them on my phone, and they were playing, and we got to see part of their concert.
Very cool. Jenna, I think you were a little ahead of the curve on this because other people are starting to do it now. So, you know. The book.
The book is on fire.
It's so exciting. I don't know what to say. Want to ask me questions, or should I?
What is the name of the book, and why? Why did you title it so?
The book is called Bebop Fairy Tales, an historical fiction trilogy on jazz, intolerance, and baseball. And why did I title it that? It's a long story, actually, but essentially I started writing screenplays, and I like writing about history and jazz, and people like Spike Lee and other people have told me, and in 2003, I should say, 2003, I was a semi-finalist in the Sundance Screenwriting Competition. I went out to LA for a few weeks, and a lot of people was telling me the same thing Spike told me. No one's going to give an unknown writer any chance with period pieces, history, which is what I specialize in, because history in movies cost money. And this was 2003. I'll never forget Malcolm Jamal Warner, who's a friend, took me to a party at Kim Field's house. Okay, sounds like a party for child TV stars. But anyway, I was at Kim Field's house.
Was Gary Coleman there?
Huh?
Was Gary Coleman there? What you talking about, Mark? Sorry.
And at the time, Brokeback Mountain was hot. And this guy at this party said, dude, you know Brokeback Mountain was just short stories. Why don't you write a book of short stories? And that was 2003, and it's taken me 17 years, but I wrote a book of short stories. I have a lot of short stories, some false starts. You know how that is. Creativity, start, stop. You have your babies. Yes.
I have dogs.
And
I have dogs and CDs.
Yeah, what?
I have dogs and CDs.
All right. So yes, you do know what I'm talking about, right? And all these little babies, and I realized that two of them had strong baseball subplots, and they all revolve around jazz. And I hate intolerance, so it just came up with that title. I took those stories that had the most intolerance, jazz, and baseball in them. And the stories that didn't make it are pretty good too. I have a story about Josephine Baker in the war in Spain, because Spain wasn't neutral. they had their own civil war, but she was transit between France and Algiers. So I have this story about her and this German officer. I have a story about Von Freeman's descendants in the 23rd century checking on his history in Chicago. And then I have another story about Dinah Washington, Charlie Parker, and Michael Jackson, who all have the same birthdays, who all died the same way, and who all had a royalty monitor on them. Charlie Parker was the king of bebop or whatever. He was the prince of pop. She was the queen of the blues. And
I need to read that story.
Oh, no, well, that's not one of the stories.
I know, but I want to read it.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great story. It opens up with Charlie Parker, Michael Jackson, and Dinah Washington walking to a bar. That's how the story.
So I have a question from my friend Jeff. The book sounds fabulous, but not until September 1st?
Okay, right. For magazines, you need lead time. You know that too, Jenna.
Mm-hmm.
And I hired an amazing PR person. I really wanted to do it right. I hired an editor. I hired a PR person, a graphic designer. My PR person is one of the best jazz PR people in the world, Terry Hitte.
Yay, Terry. Hi, Terry. We love Terry.
And we talked about setting it up and for magazines and getting as much press as we wanted. And we're just kind of early.
Good. Okay.
You know, right.
It's normal.
Right. That's we do it like that's how jazz people do albums. If you want that national print at the same time of the release, you better be ready a couple months before. So it's funny. Had it came out today, with all this going on, whoa! Because I can't wait to hear what people have to say.
So getting back to that, for instance, that part of the story, I'm stepping away from your book for just a second because so you're working, you program XM. So are you still getting CDs now? Are you getting new music releases?
Okay, so yes, I'm being dragged into the 21st century. I was a CD person, as we just saw, and but coming home made it different, where I have to start doing digital. But I tell record people, you got to send me CDs. I'm still a old dragon, and it's going to take me a minute to get totally digital. But to get music into the system now, got to be digital.
All digital.
I'm not there to physically put it in.
So are you getting new releases at this point?
Yep.
Has it slowed down?
No. It's amazing.
Great.
If you had to judge, and Dave can vouch for this, if you had to judge the state of jazz by the number of CDs being produced, you would think jazz was healthy, you know? But I think technology has leveled the playing field where anybody can make a record, and anybody's making records.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There's so much great music out there, Jenna. There's so much great music. I
So
feel
many
bad.
talented people.
Pardon?
So many talented people in the world.
But there's so many people who think they're talented who are not, who makes it bad for people like Jenna Mammina. And you know me as vocalists, I got famous at different conferences because I speak up about the number of bad vocalists make it hard for the good ones because I get 100 vocalists a quarter, let's say, and only 4 or 5 of them are worth it, you know? So I have to go through them all to find Jenna Mammina. I have to go through them all to find the great singers, you know? Greta Matassa in Seattle. I would have never found Greta Matassa, you know, had I not made it a point to go through all the vocalists, you know? So, yeah, it's harder to pull off as an instrumentalist. But as a vocalist, anybody thinks they can sing, and you know, and sometimes they can't.
I'm smiling. So, do you think that we should still make CDs?
Yes, for it's your business card.
Mm-hmm.
It's your business card.
But a lot of people literally will say to me, joking, I don't even have a CD player anymore. And I'm like, then, you know, Peace. See ya.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel for you guys. I felt for you guys before the lockdown started, but now with the lockdown, I mean, it's like it's double hard for you guys.
That's why I have my own talk show.
Yes, and finding other ways to get it out there. I think, Jenna.
I mean, the people that are on this right now on the feed. My friend Jeff Metzger, I met in Mexico for a festival. Kevin Kuhn, I know him from elementary school. Who else is here? My friend Rosie's here, who's a farmer. Melanie DeMoore is a musician from the Bay Area. There's people from all over the country here right now, and one person from England and one person from India, and it's my connection and community. Now you'll meet Kevin, and you'll buy his book, and he'll buy your book, and Melanie's going to buy your book, and Dave Love's going to buy lots of your books.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me. I'm meeting your friends actually. Who is Tanya Grubbs?
Tanya Grubbs is a beautiful vocalist that if you don't have her record yet, Tanya, send Mark your record. Send Mark your record. You know, you'll hear it. When you hear it, you're going to go, damn.
She's an example of somebody I have to go to.
She lives in Pittsburgh. She's a
Ah.
Pittsburgh girl.
Wow.
Yep.
I was at the Pittsburgh Jazz Festival last year. It's a wonderful festival.
Maybe she performed at it. I don't know. Tanya,
Yeah.
did you perform at the Pittsburgh Jazz Festival?
Last year.
She thinks you have it.
Wow.
But she's going to buy your book. And my friend Michael Keel's in Merced, and he's a wonderful healer, nurse friend of mine who takes care of one of my heart people on the planet, and good people.
Okay, so if Tanya sent me her record, it's at Jazz at Lincoln Center, and I can't get to it. So she has to send me digital, and you could. My email is easy, mark@markruffin.com.
She has her record is called Live at Maureen's Jazz Cellar, Tanya Grubbs Quintet.
No way. I mean, if it could be at Jazz at Lincoln Center.
And my friend Jeff Metzger just sent you a friend request.
Okay. So did Tanya, and that's how I recognized her name from your community.
Yeah.
So,
have you been to Corona-Roki yet? On our Thursday night Corona-Roki?
No.
Dave Love, we got to get Mark Ruffin there. You could even sing. How about, ooh, Mark, come to Corona-Roki and just read like a 3-minute section from your book.
Okay. I love how excited you got. Ooh. Okay. Because you don't want me to sing.
Yes, we do, but you could sing it. You could send me the book, and I could sing from the book. I've done this. I've done a plant book and a telephone book.
The song book, the phone book.
I have done.
Oh,
it.
hey, how about that thing you do that I love, where you get a word from everyone in the audience, and then I've heard some of the greatest melodies you've ever sung improvising off people in the audience.
I did a good one the other night. And a couple people said it was Joni Mitchell-esque.
I believe that. Although you're Jenna Mammina-esque, and again,
I love you, Mark Ruffin.
I've told this story before. Me and Dave Love were at a conference, and the conference they have a jukebox jury where radio people sit on a panel and they listen to music and they grade it. Then after they grade it, they try to decide.
In front of you, they grade it. In front of 500 people, they grade your record that you just spent the last year of your life doing.
Yes.
And your money.
So they're playing this record, and I'm just listening. I was working in the back of the room. Dave was right next to me, and when they asked who it was, I said in the back, "Well, if it ain't Jenna Mammina, it's somebody showing her ass." and then Dave laughed. Yeah, that does sound like Jenna. And then it was you. It was a beautiful thing. And so my point is, you can be Joni Mitchell-esque, you could be Jenna Mammina-esque, and I hear it in vocalists all the time. We don't want to get into that story, but you should be a major influencer in modern music today, because your voice is so unique and your style is so you. Which is how come that's how come Cassandra Wilson and Renee Marie and all these quality people love you, because you can hear and see what you should be. Sorry, I went on my Jenna Mammina rant. Sorry.
Thank you. You're making me cry.
I know. Well, you know how I feel. I mean, it's a mix. I've
Thank
taken
you.
people. I've taken people to see Jenna just to watch their reaction. Okay. So anyway, did we get off the subject?
You're getting a lot of hellos on here. I don't say, is it Moultrie? John Moultrie? Am I saying it right, Mark? John Moultrie says hello.
John Moultrie?
So I said it right, Moultrie. I am always like, is it Moultrie? Yeah.
How do you know John Moultrie?
Probably, I'm Jenna Mammina.
Yes. What the hell am I saying? Of course.
John, come be on the show. And Dave Love is here. Dave, will you please be on my show?
Dave, you owe it to the world to be on her show. John Moultrie had the coolest club in Chicago. Damn, I'm trying to think of the name of it. I'm not at my computer. Asking what was the name of that club.
What was the name of the club, John?
Oh, it was so cool. Had a cool name, too. It was in River North area of Chicago.
Keep going.
It was just a cool club. I can't think of the name.
You're almost there.
Ooh, I'm almost
John, what was the name of the club? I think he might have. Jazz Oasis.
Yes, that's right, the Jazz Oasis. Oh my God. Yes.
I knew what it was, but I thought maybe you would come up.
Yes.
So he just came on, Jazz Oasis.
Yes, it's really cool. Really cool place. Tell him I say hello. Oh, well, he can hear that. Anyway, yeah, so I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you, Mark. I'm a big fan of yours, too. And a good friend. We are great friends, and we have great friends in common, and
we've been through so much, and Jenna, we're kicking 30. We're kicking. Are we?
Oh yeah.
We're kicking 30.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if they'll even have a jazz conference this year.
They were talking about doing something virtual. This virtual thing. I don't know how I feel about it.
You mean like a Zoom conference for all us old jazzers that
But I gotta tell you, my kid graduated from college a couple of weeks ago. Harvard, yeah.
Harvard.
So Harvard does everything big. I mean, huge. I mean, his student orientation was in Montenegro. Okay. Their graduation was weird, but it also had a sense of community, Jenna, that you couldn't have gotten with people in the auditorium. So it was a very unique experience. So who knows how conferences are going to work out,
Hey, have you been on Gail Boyd's show?
No, my publicist says I have to go on, though.
Oh, you do? Oh,
Yeah.
you do.
No, I haven't.
Alternative venues for jazz.
Okay, so in my book, if you look at the cover of the book, and that cover is amazing.
I will, but not until September 1st. Hello? Do you have actual copies? When will you actually get boxes? When will you be making furniture in your home out of the boxes?
Next week,
Okay.
maybe. No, we get proofs next week. But on the cover, that cover is so. I love the cover. People tell me I should have T-shirts of the cover.
It's beautiful. I love your photo of you for the book.
So the football player on the cover, that's Gail Boyd's husband.
Who's from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And who has an amazing book of his own, and who has an amazing story. So let me tell you how he got into my story. This is such an amazing story. I can't wait to tell it to people from Philadelphia. So I've known Walter for a long time. He's been part of trying to spur black economy since the 60s. He was on the 1964 championship team of the Cleveland Browns in the NFL. He was on the team with Jim Brown, okay? So I'm writing a story about Philadelphia, the jazz scene in 1964, and any Philly fan knows that the Philadelphia baseball team in 64 had one of the worst collapses in ever. And that's kind of what my story is about, revolving around these two kids, one black from Philly, one Jewish from the other side of Philly, how their lives are intertwined with the song The Sidewinder by Lee Morgan, and how their lives are intertwined by the Philadelphia Phillies. So anyway, I'm writing a story, and at one point, as the Phillies are collapsing, they're about to lose first place for the first time all summer, and they're at a baseball game is on one side of Philadelphia. On the other side of Philadelphia is the Philadelphia Eagles playing a football game. And many people at the football game were listening to the baseball game. So when things happened in the baseball game, there was a big uproar, and people on the football field was like, what's going on? What's going on? Right? So I look at the stats. The Philadelphia Eagles were playing the Cleveland Browns that day with Walter Beach on the field in one of his best games ever in the NFL. I was like, oh my God, I got to work him into this story. And so the story, which at the time was like 50 pages, I came up with a whole new line to make him one of the heroes and added an extra 100 pages. It takes up half the book. And and people, you know, I was very insecure about sending it out, but man, people love you. The blurbs make me blush. It's like the reviews, I have to live up to the reviews. But that's how that happened. Walter Beach is a hero. And that day in Philly, it was September 27th, 1964. He had an interception, damn near another one, and most tackles. It was one of his best games.
I was in my mama's belly for about 3 more weeks. That's why I missed that game.
Yes. Anyway, I do hope the book is a success. I think the timing is amazing. Somebody said, wow, wouldn't it be nice if it was out now with all this going on? I think our country is so fucked racially that no matter when this book came out, it would have been controversial.
It's all good. Everything happens how it's supposed to happen, when it's supposed to happen, and you're right on time.
Yes. You've helped me realize those things that day when I realized you were an 11/11 person. You've helped me to realize a lot of things, that things happen in their time, and that people are looking out for you. There are forces looking out for you, and sometimes they tell you when it's right and when it's wrong, and that 11/11 is one of those times. So, thank you.
Thank you. So, did you have breakfast?
No, because I stayed up too late watching a great movie.
What?
And I wrote a review of it on Facebook this morning. It was so good. The Five Bloods, Spike Lee's movie.
Ooh.
It is. There's a dichotomy here. It's one of the most predictable movies I've ever seen, but it is one of the most enjoyable thrillers I've seen in a long time. And it's only predictable. I realize it's only predictable for people who know the treasure of the Sierra Madre. Do you know that movie?
I do.
Well, when you'll be a quarter of the way through, and you're like, oh, this is just the treasure of Sierra Madre. So much so, Jenna, that at one point when the Viet Cong came up to, the modern day Viet Cong rebels came up to the modern day soldiers, I realized, oh, that's just the federales from Sierra Madre. I said, and the guy said, Delroy Lindo, the actor, said, and what authority do you have? Where are your badges? I looked at Valerie and I said it with the actor. Badges? We don't need no stinking badges. But they didn't say stinky, but yes. I mean, it's still a great movie. The cinematography, the way they use what's going on will blow your mind. At one point, they take Marvin's track.
The Five Loves.
The Five Loves, that's right. They take his track, his overdub track, just one track that he was overdubbing, and they run it through a scene. Oh, Jenna, it's the way they use Marvin's music in the script, in the score, in the source music. It's amazing.
Was Terrence part of the? Okay.
Yes, Terrence did the score, and
I need to get him and Robin on the show too.
You had Robin on the show?
She's going to be on. We've talked about both of them coming on, but yeah.
Okay, so now we got to change subject again. Let me tell you how Terrence had a role in this book. Okay?
Terrence Blanchard, we're speaking of.
Yes, Terrence Blanchard. So when I started writing screenplays in the 80s, I was working for Ramsey Lewis, and my first screenplay is called Cash for Your Trash. It is It is Fats Waller being kidnapped by Al Capone. That's the gist of the story, right? And I told Terrence about it, and Terrence said, "Dude, you got to send that to Spike." And through Terrence's word, I sent it to Spike, and Spike wrote me back. And he said, that's when he said, "Dude, you don't send period pieces to black production companies. They ain't got no money." And he wanted to see what else I had. It was really encouraging. And so then that led up to writing more screenplays and getting the Sundance honor. And then after I got the Sundance honor, everything Spike said came roaring back to me, and I started writing. So Terrence, thank you, Terrence Blanchard.
Love those people.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you good people begot good people, you know? And that's the case with you, Jenna. There's a line in the movie, The Five Bloods. We don't die, we multiply. That's the way you are with good people. You just multiply.
Here we are. You've just multiplied your friendships right here, because I know people that are going to buy your book. I know people that are friending you, sending you CDs, and I get to introduce everyone to you.
Yes. And vice versa. Your friend circle is just amazing.
We just keep connecting. It makes more and more.
And there should be a protest outside Dave Love's house in Austin to have him on the show. And if he doesn't come, I'm going to give people his address and have people boycott until he's on your show. Is he still on?
Dave, he's still here. Why would he leave? Why would he leave this show? And my friend Jeff just said, "It's a shame that Mark is such a shy guest." One of the coolest people I knew you. I think maybe you had like not a shaved head, but that's how long I've known you.
I did not have dreadlocks when we met.
No. The name of the movie is called The Five Loves or Five Loves? The Five Loves.
Oh, and there's so much. And also what's encouraging to me is historical fiction. There's so much history in this movie. And the lead character is a Trumper, okay, which makes it even more interesting. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. But if you've seen The Treasure of Sierra Madre, you'll be able to predict many parts of it. Well,
that's enjoyable, and it's a comfort. There's a comfort there.
That's right. And in fact, if you're a fan of Hollywood movies, there's lots of references. This is like Tarantino's last movie was just a big love letter to Hollywood. This is I would describe this movie, I said it in the post. This movie is, if I had to pitch this movie, I would have pitched it as a cross between The Treasure of Sierra Madre and the George Clooney Ice Cube movie called We Three Kings, right, with a touch of Good Morning Vietnam and Apocalypse Now.
I can see that movie in my head. So I bring up the breakfast because you told me the other day you've had the same breakfast for 40 years.
Yep. Well, basically it's been oatmeal and maple syrup, just a little maple syrup. And that's been since I was a kid. When I found out that oatmeal was good for your heart, I'm like, my heart is kicking, okay? But the last 10 or 15 years, I've added kiwi. And it's a great taste. Kiwi, maple, and different kind of nuts, either walnuts or pecans. Whew. My wife is calling.
All right. Well, please hug Valerie for me. I'm gonna give Valerie a hug right now.
Okay. She is like you, an amazing woman.
She's a very cool being for sure. And do you guys go out walking in Morningside Park? Are you?
No. She has a trainer. We do exercise, and I run up these stairs. You can hear me run up the stairs. 14 stairs. I do it about 10 times. I do 140, then 280, but that's one reason we're going to Florida too. Is we can get out and walk. The pool is right there, and
when do you leave?
Saturday.
Okay.
Yes, babe. You're a star on her TV show, so you might as well.
Valerie.
Oh, you want me to stop? Oh, yes. See.
It's time.
Yeah.
Well, I have a concert this afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook Live. with my friend Tom Costanzo. So if you're around, and also anybody, thank you very much for your donations today. Venmo, PayPal. Check out my Patreon page, and thank you, Mark, and thank you, Valerie, for not asking for him until now, because we had a really great time.
She said thank you.
I love you, and have a safe trip. And let's talk. Call me anytime. We can talk while you're on the road, while you're on the train. I want to hear about. Maybe we could do a show while you're on the train.
Oh, that would be fun. Except we won't be on the train at 11:11 either.
Oh, you won't. Neither one.
We will. Yes, we will.
She's like, yes, you will.
You're probably booked. Okay, but we'll talk.
Okay. Thank you, Mark Ruffin.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Mark Ruffin. Oh, here he is. One more time.
Yes.
Everyone's saying goodbye to you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. And there are 11. Here we are. And I know he will watch this video and share the video. I'll tag him in the video, and y'all can friend him and send him stuff and buy stuff from him, and thank you. You're very welcome. So I will see some of you perhaps this afternoon. I'm going to be, we're going to Instagram that shit, and we're going to Facebook Live, and then this evening my friends Matt and Susan Gorbett, who are just as cool as anybody on this feed right now, but they're like the love machine. They're just, and when I say that, like Dave and Ruth, there are people in my life that I see these couples like Valerie and Mark, and they're scientists. So that's tonight. I know his book. Well, he did read the last time he was on. He did read from the book. So hopefully Thursday night, Corona Roki International. I need some singers. And you don't have to be a singer. I need performers. You could do whatever it is that you do. If you're a origami paper person, that would be cool. I'm down for that. I don't need a Zoom. I don't need the Zoom mic for that part. It's true. I gotta go get ready for my day, and maybe I'll make some oatmeal because I do have some kiwi. Okay, you guys have a lovely Sunday, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Love hard.